Today's video is brought to you by Oxedo LED lighting. You might think that you can see just fine at night. Well, I did too, until I did this little upgrade. As you can see from this footage, here is some before Oxedo LED lighting, and here is some after Oxedo LED lighting. The difference is amazing. With high brightness and easy installation, Oxedo LED lighting is definitely the route for you. They're easy to install, and they're available for all makes and models. Click on the link in the description below and enter promo code 612motorsports at checkout to get yourself 15% off. Now back to our video. Hello and welcome back to another episode of 612 Motorsports. In today's episode we are back from Minnesota and we have a little project to do. And as you can see here in the background, the OG here is working on a little project. Good to see him out doing some stuff. But we are gonna go, you can probably hear a wad of quarters in my pocket here because, well, the truck sat for a month and it's dirty. And we don't like to see it like that, so we're gonna go up to the car wash. We're gonna give this thing a bath, and our hair got a little long, so we're gonna go in and get a haircut and kind of spruce things up a bit. So let's get into it. Gotta have my bucket, wash mitt, and of course Mr. Mountain Dew. So yeah, we haven't been in here for a while. Anxious to kind of get things clean again. Popped right off, that's nice. I hear a bit of a brake squeak. Yeah, I just pushed on them and she stopped. So that means we might have some bad pads. I have noticed one thing in here, when I'm coming up to a stoplight or a stop sign and I start to apply the brake, I feel it drag in a spot a little bit, and I'm guessing that one of the rotors might be a little warped or something. And so now that we have this kind of annoying squeak, well, I shouldn't say kind of, because it's very annoying. I think it's about time maybe for a brake upgrade. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment below. I'm thinking some nice drilled slotted rotors, some new calipers, maybe some nice green stuff pads or something, a nice ceramic pad. We do end up with a lot of brake dust on our barrels and our lips of our rims in the front, and to avoid that you want to run a higher quality pad. The cheaper pads, they are not going to hold up as well, and that's what you see a lot of the vehicles that have a lot of brake dust on them. It's from a cheaper pad. If you go with the like carbon ceramics or whatever they are, you pay a little more. You're going to get a heck of a lot better quality pad. You're not going to get that brake dust, and they're just going to hold up a lot longer. The life of the pad anyway is going to be a lot better. So that's something I've been thinking about. Alright boys, let's run in and go get a trim. Alright boys, fresh cut. We're feeling like $1,000,000. Now we're gonna get over to the car wash and give this old girl a bath. God, it desperately needs it. And I feel bad that I haven't done so for a little while, but you know, stuff happens. What do? You can't be on top of everything all the time as much as you would like to be. And here we go. Woo! We're in. let's give this thing a wash and beautify it a bit. Alright boys, we got her washed. She's looking pretty dang slick. Sorry about the shadowing and whatnot, but it's what you get on a sunny day here in Florida. Now that we're done with that, I'm a little hungry. I don't know about you, but I think it's time to make a run to the border. So this is a little project that we were working on. Got some rims painted up here. Back sides for now. I'll let those dry real good and then flip them over and do the front sides. But crisp. That's such a nice bright color. Well, it's day 2 and I haven't really been filming too much today, but I did get both sides of the front rims are now done. Just kind of letting them bake in the sun here a little bit. And if you're wondering, I used playing cards and I tucked them in along the edge there on the bead side, and it's a little trick I picked up from the man himself, Mr. Mike Finnegan, and it honestly worked really, really good. So I'd like to thank Mike for that tip. But they're looking pretty good. Now what we're gonna do is throw the back end of the car up on jack stands, get those wheels off, and get those scuffed and ready to paint. We do got all of the hubcaps done, and this one here I had to give another coat. We were kind of knocking down some of the orange peel with a little compound in. We wore through in a couple little spots, but nothing big. We put some more on and she looks really good, so we're letting that bake in the sun. But it's a little process, but we're getting there, and it's really going to look good when it's done. So here's the 36, and this is kind of what we're working with. So that's what they look like right now. And you just saw how nice and red they look with a nice beauty ring and center cap. That's going to look pretty choice. So I know you're probably asking yourself, tell me about this car. We will. We'll get there. You know, it's got my favorite of all favorites, the flathead. For not being a Ford guy, I really love a flathead. We got the fronts off. Like I said, we're doing those now. That's the old hubcap and beauty ring that was on there, all chrome, and we're just kind of making a little 50s style rod out of it now, just looks wise, and it's something my dad has always liked, especially on these older Fords. You want to run a red rim. So, but she's a beaut. We had her to cruise night the other night, and like maybe many of you saw, we had a crowd around the car the entire evening, so that was pretty cool. But we'll give you a walk around on this at some point. We're just kind of tinkering with it in the garage, and to be honest, I'm not filming a whole lot with this because it's just kind of fun working on it with my dad and not having to worry about filming or anything, and just enjoying some quality time, because that's really what it's about. Just a couple gear heads wrenching in the garage. But we're gonna get these off here and start scuffing. So that's what the end result is gonna look like. We got the two front ones there. Now we're doing the back side of the rears. We got that one, and then we've got that one right there that we just blasted, and we're letting the sun bake that in a little bit, but it's gonna look pretty dang good. Well, there they are. They're back on. They're red. They look gorgeous. Sounds pretty amazing too. Big difference. Might recognize this guy from such videos as Touring Ellingson's. Maybe back to the 50s, he made an appearance, and the Hooked on Classics tour. They're headed off to cruise night. So these boys are off to get into some trouble. So you guys have a good time. Don't leave too many rubber marks. My brother just got into town literally an hour and a half ago. His plane landed, and well, this is how we roll. So off to cruise night. Fortunately, I have to go to work tonight, or I'd be riding in that rumble seat. Oh, she looks good. Those rims really made a difference. Well, they headed off, and I have to get to work, so we're going to end the video here. But those rims definitely came out looking pretty sweet, pretty choice. Can't complain about that. Stay tuned for the next video, because well, honestly, you never know what's gonna happen. And if by any chance you feel like maybe helping support the channel other than just watching my videos, go ahead and hit that subscription button. It's free. Doesn't hurt anything, doesn't cost anything, and it truly is the best way to help support the channel and the things that I do, that I bring to you. So with that being said, as always, stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. Hello and welcome back to another episode of 612 Motorsports. In today's episode, I have a special treat in store for you guys. If you couldn't have told by the thumbnail and title, but if you just popped in, it's going to be a good one. So I'm glad you're here. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a cold beverage of your choice. If you do have the opportunity to, if you're driving or at work or something of that nature, obviously don't do that. But before we get too far into today's episode, you guys know the routine. Please go ahead, hit that subscription button, the notification bell, leave a comment, a thumbs up. All that stuff is super, super helpful, and it is truly greatly appreciated. Okay, let's get into today's episode. Now, I had to work today, and when I got home, there was a little surprise here in the garage. And, well, not so much a surprise. I knew it was coming, but it's something I had not ever seen other than a picture or two, and the pictures weren't of the greatest quality, so it still left a lot to my imagination. When I got home, it was here, and dun-da-da-da, introducing a 32 Ford Roadster. This is a Dearborn Deuce body, so that means that it has... Today's video is brought to you by Oxedo LED lighting. You might think that you can see just fine at night. Well, I did too, until I did this little upgrade. As you can see from this footage, here is some before Oxedo LED lighting, and here is some after Oxedo LED lighting. The difference is amazing. With high brightness and easy installation, Oxedo LED lighting is definitely the route for you. They're easy to install, and they're available for all makes and models. Click on the link in the description below and enter promo code 612motorsports at checkout to get yourself 15% off. Now back to our video. Let me lift the cover here a little bit. That means it has glass. It has power windows. And this is something that Dearborn Deuce Body Company does. This top also folds down and goes into this little compartment back here. Seam runs along the edge. So this whole little thing kind of flips up, kind of like some of the newer convertibles, a little boot, and it all tucks right back in there. Super nice little deal. It's a steel body. It does have fiberglass fenders, but the running boards are steel. It had these red strips laid across the running boards like so, and they're aluminum strips, and they were literally siliconed on. So I popped off those. Now I am working on removing the silicone. So we're going to get that taken care of. But overall, it's a very nice little ride. Trunk is finished out nice. We'll open that up later on here. It's got LED tail lights. It's got the little push button filler cap here. Magnetic, that's nice. It has a very nice interior setup. A nice tan leather with a little darker brown carpet. Power windows, tack, air. Here's that big block. And of course, one of the first things we're going to do, well, I guess it'd be the second thing now that we remove the strips off the running boards, but we're going to start detailing. And you guys never get enough of that. I know I don't. So we're going to detail out all the chrome, all of the billet, all of the stainless, and then we're going to go ahead and go around and just kind of fine-tune and fluff some of the things, such as, well, like here there's a screw missing, and we're going to go ahead and just get all matching stainless, like, you know, hex head, and this is just a Phillips screw, washer, you know, washer, no washer. So we're gonna address all of that, kind of touch up some of the stainless things as far as fasteners go, just to really make things pop. You know, those are the little things that you notice when they're not correct. Like here I've got a black one and a chrome or stainless one. Just, there's no need for that. Like, we're just gonna knock the ugly out of it and address some of those little features. And really, it's just small stuff. That's all it really needs. The fenders, like I said, they're fiberglass. They were put on after the vehicle was built, so the paint is a little bit different and the quality of the finish is a little bit different, but overall very nice. We're gonna polish, buff, wax, interior, exterior, inside, outside, on top, underneath. The whole thing's getting the full Monty, and we're gonna get right into it without further delay. We've pretty much got this side of the motor buttoned up, and it looks a lot better. We're actually nice chrome, no pits, no fingerprints, no scuzz build up over time. We've got the same with the valve cover. Now we've got chrome, we've got billet aluminum, we've got chrome, we've got billet aluminum, and so on. So ideally I'd like to get the valve covers to polish out to be as close to chrome as I can, but this looks a lot better. These little ribs are kind of a bugger to get in there and get them clean, if you can see that, but it's a lot better than it was. And like I mentioned, we're gonna go ahead and change out all of these hardwares and just kind of spruce them up. But I'll show you what the valve cover on this side looks like, because that's what the other one was. You see that haze? You know, we got rid of that. We brought them back to life somewhat. So we're gonna do that to this side, and any and all chrome. We're gonna get this compressor shined up the best we can. That's kind of where we're at with it right now. Just kind of showing you guys a side-by-side comparison there, but that side's pretty good. Not cleaning up too bad. It's kind of a bugger getting in all of these little fins and these little holes on all of that, but it's definitely a lot shinier than it was. So like I said, we're just going to repeat that process over here with this stuff and see how that goes. Well, that's just one of the many little father and son projects that I get to deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's always a good time. Sometimes they don't go as smooth as that, and if any of you have ever worked with your fathers, you can probably attest to that. But when they do go this smooth and we laugh and giggle and fist bump and high five, it's always a good time. never to lose sight of the end goal, which is to beautify and preserve our cars, and it's just always good to hang out with Dad. Alright, boys and girls, as you saw, I just polished up these fittings and this little dryer can for the AC here, and these fittings really turned out sharp looking. You can kind of see, you know, same deal there, nothing super fancy, but you get a little polish on them and it really dresses it up nice. So we'll do the same to these ends here once we get to that position, because we're going to have to do the whole compressor. So we might as well do the fittings and everything at that time, but she's really looking good. I'm going to move on to this valve cover here.